Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Cerberus and this is Garage C. Welcome to part 6. Thank you, camera lady, for the reminder of Whisper's engine refurbishment project. Do we need to keep doing part numbers? It's just going to be us doing stuff every episode in the work. It's not like we're stopping at part 10 or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, derailed. Deranged. No engine work today. Well, okay, we might have a little look at the engine later on. The crank bolt malarkey and all that sort of stuff. And we'll have a little chat later about what I'm thinking about the engine and the way to go with that. Today's task is to pop Whisper back on her tyres. So trolley jacks out, down off stands, tyres on, so that she can roll into parking space number 2. Just outside the workshop unit, and we can roll in Shout's new clothes because I need to grab some bits from Shout's new clothes to use towards Shout. And you guys haven't met Shout yet. Coming soon. Watch this space. So it's going to be a bit of a strange higgledy-piggledy day. Just a case of I'm not looking. It's a good job the camera isn't pointing that way. She's being rude. It's just a case of... This is like the 4th take. This has been hashtag corpsing all morning. What was it? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure I've got more fingers than that. Latex gloves. I went out to get some gloves this morning, and Screwfix had a choice of latex or nitrile. Now I normally get nitrile because that's all I can find. Back in the dim and distant past, I always got latex. I'm not allergic to latex, so I can use latex. And actually, I prefer latex. What do you guys prefer, latex or nitrile? Nitrile's a bit stronger, I think, but latex is more touch and just strong enough. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you think, latex or nitrile. So it's time to get the trolley jacks. It's time to pop Whisper outside. She'll be coming back in. She'll be spending the night indoors, but I need to grab some parts off of Shout's new clothes, so it's time to introduce you to that. Better get some work done then. Introducing Shout's new clothes. This is a rolling body shell. There is nothing in this except for a Ford wiring loom and a Ford gearbox. Some crazy person at some point put a Zetec in this car. The Zetec exploded. They took that broken engine out, left the Ford gearbox in and some butchery to the PPF. And it sat for a while until a friend of mine who had picked it up hoping to put an engine in it realised that he didn't have the time to put an engine in it. So I made him an offer that he really wanted to refuse, but he needed the space. And so I have a mx5 body shell. Now Shout has a great engine, great running gear, apart from the brakes, which are fried. So at some point we will be merging the two together, like that, and making one good car out of a car with a rotten body and good running gear, and a car with a good body and no running gear. Did I say that right?
You did.
Good. But for today, I need to take some of that Zetec stuff off of the car, send it back to my friend who sold me the car, because when I brought the body shell, I didn't buy any of that stuff. I brought the shell. So some of that stuff has got to go back to him. So under we go with the windy gun and try and figure out what a Zetec conversion looks like. This could be fun. That was harder than it should have been. I should have taken you under there with me so you could have a look. There's this little top hat thing here. See? Top hat thing here. And totally seized in place. And it had like a weird forward prop shaft and just craziness. Yeah, look. PPF. Somebody chopped the end off. Zetec. Really? Okay, so last brake caliper coming off of Shout's new clothes, and they look actually just as bad as the ones on Shout, so I'm not sure if this is going to help us. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing to stop us from getting brake fluid everywhere. So first off, I'm putting on our brake hose clamp. I'll put it there. Squeeze that, pull this down, that's it. That squishes that rubber hose together. And hopefully you can hear me, because make sure you haven't got your fingers over the microphone hole, camera lady. I don't think you have. Okay, this is a big impact gun with not an impact socket. Do not do this, dangerous. You should always use black impact sockets on stuff like this. So I'm going to release the banjo bolt. That's why I used the impact, because I'm being lazy. And actually there wasn't that much torque on that anyway. So we've got a little dribble of fluid. There's the brake caliper off of the car. Look at the state of that. Okay, not sure we're gaining anything with this, but well, we'll give it a go. So there we go, you can see there's the banjo. So the fluid comes down the pipe. There's a hole here inside this circle. That goes, the fluid goes in through this hole and out through here and into the brake caliper. So that's roughly how a banjo bolt works. Now on either side there's a copper washer. Now this one's still in place on this side and the other one's fallen off. So the copper washers provide your fluid seal. So if I remove the clamp, there's going to be brake fluid all over the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bolt. Copper washer's already there on that side, so we'll pop it through. We'll add the copper washer on this side, and we'll add the nut.
Aren't you clever?
Well, only if it works. Oh, why's that stopped? Oh, I think there's a bit of gack on the threads. Oh, really? I'll tell you what, let's use a cleaner bolt. I do have one in the box. Right, hold on. Isn't that typical? When you're filming, it's always going to play you up. Right. Okay, so a bolt with cleaner threads through there. Let's get rid of some of that. Right, copper washer, nut. Do. Okay, and that's going to crush the copper washer on each side. do those up against each other. Another top tip, try and organise things so you're squeezing against each other. So you're squeezing these together rather than pulling them apart. Because when you inevitably slip off of them, if you're squeezing together, you're just going to continue squeezing together. Not. See, if I'm squeezing these towards each other, if I'm pushing them apart, then my hands could go flying off and hit things. So let's tweak those up so we squash our copper washers into place. And we should be safe now to remove our line clamp like that. And just to get this out of the way, I'm just going to pop it up in there, that hole there, like that. That's it, we're good. All we have to do now is pop the wheels on and push this one outside and bring Whisper back in for the night. Right folks, I promised we'd talk a little bit about Shout's new clothes. As you can see, no engine. And if you can see the gearbox there, I know I gave the game away earlier, but that ain't no mx5 gearbox. That's a Ford gearbox of some description. And we've got some Ford wiring of some description as well. But as you can see, chassis legs are straight, bulkhead's pretty clean. The problem we've got with this car rust-wise is this corner here. You see it's a little bit creased. I think it may have had a little nerf in the front, but the headlamp fitting, if it was bolted in, the headlamp fitting looks good. I think we can put a bumper and wings on that and we can cover that up and that will be fine. So, quality bonnet prop. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. We'll be putting Shout's bonnet, headlamp lids, bumper and wings on. So the front will go blue. We'll also put Shout's doors on and Shout's boot lid on, but the rest of the bodywork will need to be painted. And probably we'll do it the same way as we did last time, which was roller painted. You wouldn't know it from 10 feet away, but Shout is a roller painted car, and it was actually the camera lady that did most of the painting. So if we have a look along the sills, it's probably a bit dark to see, but this car has absolutely immaculate sills. There's not a bubble on them. All of the original spot weld marks are there, which means this has never been repaired. Other side is exactly the same. This is a nice, straight, clean body shell. If we have a look inside, you can see some of the madness that was included to run a Ford engine. We've got some sort of weird connector here. There's a key here, which I presume is there to make a connection with some remote transponder immobilizer. Dashboard relocated to the middle, ECU hanging off the bulkhead there. This car, I think, was perhaps a bit of a skid machine. I think it was probably loved at one point in its life, but then it became a track car or a workhorse, and not really, you know, it's not show quality, but it worked and it did the job. And actually, although I'm not really sure, I don't do the blue oval, I'm not sure about a Zetec in a car, but it was probably quite a good engine in this, although probably a bit heavier. Don't know, I haven't done the research. We're certainly not going to be putting a Zetec engine back in it. So this is Shout's new clothes. This will become the body shell that we will reshell Shout's running gear into. So you haven't met Shout yet. That could be in a future episode. What am I talking about? Could be. That will be in a future episode. But for now, we need to get this pushed outside. I've got all the brake calipers off of it that I wanted. It can be parked back up ready for the next project, which is the reshell project, after Whisper has her engine back. I did say we were going to talk about Whisper's engine, but we'll do that in the closeout piece. Let's get the cars moved around. Okay guys, that's it. That's us done for Saturday in the workshop. We got Whisper onto the ground and moved her out of the unit for a little while we pulled Shout's new clothes in, and I pulled the brake calipers off to take home to fit to Shout. The only problem is that the brake calipers I took off are about as bad as the ones that are on Shout. So at least I've got a set of calipers and all the bolts and the sliders and everything that I can refurbish and then put on. And I won't do a full refurb on them, they just need to work, they don't need to be show quality. I'll probably do most of that off camera because that's going to happen back at the ranch, not here in the workshop. We'll be back in the next part and doing some more work on the engine. Now, I did say we'd talk about the engine. I'm thinking, which is rare for me, I know. The engine with the Hello Kitty JDM cam cover, that needs to be forged, really. And that's not the work of but a moment, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world. It needs to have an uprated fuel pump, uprated rods, uprated pistons. It needs to be all put back together with a replacement crank, which I've got. It's a lot of work, and I miss driving my car. It's driving me mental not having Whisper on the road. So I think, having spent 60 quid on the stunt engine, which was fair enough because 60 quid, I don't have to use it. It doesn't have to be a runner. It's good for parts. That's where we're getting the crank from. But if I go and spend 200, 300 on a low mileage, not that you can validate that with the age of these cars, a known good running engine from a trusted dealer who breaks cars, that's heard it running, that will give me 3 months warranty on it, then I'll be back to where I was before I ever supercharged the car, because I supercharged a believed to be low mileage Mark 1 1.8 engine, and do you know what? That worked fine for quite some time. So I'm thinking that might be the way forward. We may not be building that engine. That may not be the next step. We will build that engine, but after I've dropped a good donut engine in that car, and it's back on the road, and I'm going whoosh. Okay, it doesn't go ksh, it's not a turbo. But anyway, making boost and having fun. So that's the direction we are probably going to go in. I've talked for way too long. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget we have the prize draw competition to try and get us some more subscribers. Completely shameless about that. Go and find us on Facebook. Our Facebook thingy is in the details below. Comment, let us know what you think, especially about the latex versus nitrile. I'm interested in what you guys think about that. And like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. That's it. We're done for this part of Garage C. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take 5. Okay guys, that's us done for Don't Make Me Corpse. I'm gonna run out of battery. Fuck it.
Showing me boobs earlier. I'm not looking, I'm not looking.
Sends a picture. It's your own time you're wasting.
Come on then, hurry up.